Hey everyone, welcome back to Brain Bolts. Today, we're talking about one of the most exciting and simple board games ever created, Snakes and Ladders. Have you ever rolled a dice, climbed a huge ladder, and then suddenly slid all the way down because of a snake? That's what makes this game so much fun. So grab your dice, and let's get started. What is Snakes and Ladders? Snakes and Ladders is a classic board game that is usually played by two or more players. The board has numbered squares, usually from 1 to 100. Each player has a playing piece, or token. The goal is simple. Be the first player to reach the final square. Players take turns rolling a dice. The number on the dice tells you how many spaces you can move. For example, if you roll a 5, you move your piece forward 5 spaces. But there's a twist. You might land on a ladder, or you might land on a snake. What do the ladders do? Ladders can give you a big boost. If you land on the bottom of a ladder, you can climb all the way to the square at the top. That means you skip a whole bunch of squares and move much closer to the finish line. So remember, land on a ladder and climb your way up. What do the snakes do? Snakes are the opposite of ladders. When you land on a square with the head of a snake, you slide down to the square where the snake's tail ends. For example, imagine you're on square 90. And a snake takes you down to square 42. Yikes! You just lost a lot of progress. That's what makes the game so unpredictable. How do you win Snakes and Ladders? The goal is to reach square 100 before everyone else. But there's an important rule that some versions use. You may need to roll the exact number needed to land on 100. For example, if you're on 98, you need to roll a 2. If you roll a 5, you can't finish yet. Different versions of the game can have slightly different rules, so always check the rules you're using. Why is it so unpredictable? Snakes and Ladders can change in just one roll. You could be way ahead of everyone. Then suddenly, snake slide. A snake sends you backward. Or you could be far behind. Then, climb. A ladder gives you a huge boost. That's why almost anything can happen. Did you know? Snakes and Ladders originated in India and was connected to ideas about morality and life. The ladders represented positive qualities and progress, while the snakes represented negative actions and setbacks. Over time, the game became popular around the world and evolved into the simple family game many people know today. 1. The same player always has to go first. Is it true or false? False. There isn't one universal rule, saying the same player must always start. Players can decide who goes first in different ways. 2. Every Snakes and Ladders game uses exactly the same playing pieces. True or false? False. Different game sets can use different types of tokens or pieces. The important thing is being able to tell the players apart. 3. Every Snakes and Ladders board must look exactly the same. True or false? False. Boards can have different artwork, colors, snake locations, ladder locations, and layouts. 4. When you roll the die, you count your movement from your current square. True or false? True. If you're on square 42 and roll a 5, you move forward 5 spaces from square 42. 5. A snake can completely change the game. True or false? True. Landing on a snake can send a player backward and give another player a chance to catch up. 6. Climbing a ladder guarantees that you will win. True or false? False. A ladder gives you a boost, but you still have to continue playing. You could encounter another snake later. 7. 2 players can never be on the same square. True or false? False. In many versions, multiple players can occupy the same square. 8. The most experienced player is guaranteed to win. True or false? False. Snakes and Ladders depends heavily on dice rolls, so experience doesn't guarantee victory. 9. A player who is far behind can still make a comeback. True or false? True. A few lucky rolls and ladders can help a player catch up quickly. 10. There's one strategy that guarantees you will win every game. True or false? False. You can't control the number you roll, so there isn't a guaranteed strategy that wins every game. How to take care of your board and pieces. Keep your board clean. or dry your hands before playing. Keep food and drinks away from the board. Wipe the board gently with a soft, dry cloth if it gets dusty. Fold the board carefully after the game. Store the pieces in a small bag or container so they don't get lost. How to store your game. Put all the pieces back in the box after playing. Fold the board neatly along its original folds. Keep the die with the game so it's easy to find. Store the game in a cool, dry place. Take care of small pieces. Game pieces and dice are small. Keep them away from babies and toddlers. Count the pieces before putting the game away, so none are missing. That's snakes and ladders. Now you know what ladders do, what snakes do, how to win, facts and myths about snakes and ladders, how to take care of your pieces and the board, and why the game is so unpredictable. Thanks for watching Brain Bolts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out the next video. See you next time.